Ever get that feeling like a song is speaking right to you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's reading your mind, putting words to what you're feeling but can't quite express.
Totally. That's the power of music, right?
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're diving into today with Blue Like Methylene by Kurt Holes. It's a track packed with these vivid lyrics that leave you wondering, what's he getting at? Well, we're here to unpack that.
Like sonic detectives, ready to decode the message.
Exactly. So the song kicks off with this gritty scene, paints a picture with the lines, shadows in the night, neon lights so bright. You get this instant hit of urban energy, that electric vibe. But then there's this underlying tension, right?
Definitely. It's that push and pull, that edge you find in a city after dark. The shadows in particular, they add this element of mystery, like what's lurking beneath the surface.
Ooh, I like that. So we've got the setting, but then it dives into the feeling, the experience. Lost in the sound, he says, and then later, lost in the machine.
Right, but then there's that flip side too. This is our ground. We are bound. It's almost paradoxical, right? Lost but found at the same time.
Exactly. What do you make of that?
What really speaks to that duality of the urban experience, especially when it comes to music. Think about it. The sheer volume of sound in a city, the crowds, it can be overwhelming. It's easy to feel lost in it all. But then, within that chaos, you find connection.
Like a sense of belonging?
Exactly. You felt that in a club, haven't you? When the beat drops and suddenly you're swept up in this wave of shared energy, everyone moving as one.
Yeah,
It's powerful stuff.
100%. Which brings us to maybe the most intriguing part, the title itself. Blue Like Methylene. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, it's definitely not your average song title.
Not at all. So break it down for us.
Well, let's start with methylene blue itself. It's a dye, a stain, often used in labs. Visually, it has this kind of melancholic blue hue, almost sterile, you know? So when you connect that back to the feeling of being blue, it adds another layer to it.
Like experiencing the city through a filter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A filter that tints everything with this melancholy, this sense of detachment that the lyrics keep hinting at.
Like those old blue Instagram filters everyone was obsessed with for a minute. Everything had this kind of bleak, washed out look, but it was cool, you know?
Totally. It's like capturing that feeling of detachment you were talking about, making it visual.
Hmm.
And then on top of that visual, you have the music itself. The lyrics really emphasize that. Hear the beat drop hard, feel the bass so mean. And then my personal favorite, rhythm takes control.
Ooh, yeah.
It's like the music itself is this force possessing you, dictating your every move.
It's visceral, you know? You can practically feel the rhythm in your chest.
Exactly. And that repetition, those strong verbs, they all highlight how music has this power to overwhelm us, dominate our senses, even if it's just for the length of the song.
It's like surrendering to the sound.
100%.
So it seems like Blue Like Methylene isn't just describing a color, it's this whole vibe. It's urban nights, pulsating music, and that bittersweet cocktail of getting lost and then finding yourself all wrapped up in one.
You got it. And it leaves us thinking, how do music and environment work together to shape what we feel, what we experience? What about this song speaks to you?
That's a great question for our listeners to ponder. And that wraps up our deep dive on Blue Like Methylene. Thanks for joining us as we unpacked the layers of meaning and explored the power of lyrics. Until next time, keep those sonic receptors open.
Absolutely. Music is everywhere, just waiting to be decoded.